Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Altcoin Mentors YouTube channel. My name is Peter, and today I'm going to be doing our weekly technical analysis for the cryptocurrencies we currently follow. Our main goal here at Altcoin Mentors is to help as many people as possible achieve their goal of financial freedom. And we believe trading cryptocurrencies is an opportunity of a lifetime. By the end of this video, you should have a better understanding of where the crypto markets are going in the near term and long term future. If you like our videos, please follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. We also have a model portfolio for our 2K 5X challenge that you can view our positions and progress. If you'd like to be notified of our latest videos, please hit the bell button and follow us on YouTube. Okay, so let's start with a chart that I showed last week on Twitter. So as Bitcoin was going higher and higher and higher, it hit resistance at about 8,400. So one of the things you'll see is that I try to be very consistent with my charts. So I don't erase stuff from the past and then change it later. I just keep them on. So this way you can have a play-by-play of what I am looking at. So my support and resistance lines, I don't change them over time. I keep them in place. These are my zones, my trading zones where they're going to be trading in, where they have been trading in. And then, you know, this is my 50 EMA and my 200 EMA. And this is the 90-minute chart. So this is one of the things I look at for midterm levels for swings. So last week on August 3rd, I posted this. And so right here, we were at support at 72.65. And below that support was the range from back in July. So this range here was here for about a week. It was hovering between short-term support at 72.65 and major resistance at 7,700. So it's kind of like, you know, in between. It was going in and out. Once it broke, it went up to the next level. So as it was coming down, it broke this little range that it was in for a while. It broke below major support at 7,700. Right, so here was support. It hit it. Tried to go back up, didn't. It broke down. Tried to go back up, right? Hit it. So here, this is support. It tried to bounce off of it. Here, it went below it. It tried to go up and then bounced down. So bounce off, going up, bounce down, going down. And then so it was hovering here around 72.65, which was a short-term support, right? But this was also in a range. So last week I said that this is a must-hold line for Bitcoin. If it breaks here, it could get into trouble. And that's what I tweeted out, right? So let's look at the tweet. So I basically said that AM, our Altcoin Mentors wave trend indicator, has turned negative. And if it breaks this level, I will be going net short. So before I was in a neutral mode. So basically I took profits up at the top over here. And as it was going down, I was actually waiting for an opportunity to go long again. But then it never gave me an opportunity. Right? It never broke above 7,700. So I waited. And then the wave trend indicator turns negative. The chart setups looked bad. I said that if it breaks this level, I will be going short. So let's see where we are now. Right. So now we kind of know what the market has done. Right. So you'll see that this is the same chart from before. Right. The ranges are the same. This is the must hold line. And so from here before, from 72.22, I got shorted at 72.20. Right. Now we're back down to 6,300 level. So basically, you know, it went all the way down almost $1,000. So that's a big drop, right, for this. So that's the key here. What you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're trading, you know where your support and resistance lines are, right? And you want to follow the trend. So let's look at where the trend is on Bitcoin. So this is one of the differences that I have with a lot of people. So this is a log scale for Bitcoin, right? So what it does is on a weekly basis. So what it does is it shows this huge ramp up. But what log scale does is that it shows on a mathematical basis moves based on it just figures out the range based on your the previous number and the percentages it has gone up. So it went from 160 to 320, went up 100%. So it shows a big space, right? But if I turn off log scale, this is what it looks like. So this is the real world money version. And this is the log scale version. So I always use the real version. I don't like log scale. Right? Because what log scale does is it can keep your eyes off the price. So I'll show you how it does that. So we'll go on a daily basis here. right? So if I put it on log scale, right, same time frame. So this is exactly 1 year, right? So August of last year, right? So let's go back here, right, just so you can see. So here we go, August of last year. So if you put it in log scale, what it does is it goes higher, higher, higher. It stays, and then when you look at the chart, just with your eyes view, you're like, huh, you know what? It doesn't look that bad, right? Because it's only about halfway down, right? But this is where log scale can kind of fool you. So let's take log scale off, and now look what happens. Same chart, right? But now you see, holy moly, right? What's so different? You know, how come now it looks like we're in a bad downtrend? Before we were like midway, right? So maybe it'll get worse, right? But here, boy, it's really getting worse. So right now for Bitcoin on a long-term time frame, it looks pretty bad. This will be about the third time it's in this 5,900 area. And if it breaks, the next level is 4,400, and then below that is 3,000. So right now for like investment grade trend, so we have 4 trends. So we have investment grade, which is basically like hodling, right? Holding it for a super, super long time. We have long-term trends, which is probably a few months to a year or so. Then we have swing trades, which can last anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. So see how the progression goes. It goes from years, right, to decades, hodling, right? It goes from months to years, right, long-term. And it goes from, weeks, to months, right, for swing trades, because sometimes swing trades will, can go that long. And then it goes for intermediate and then day trades. So those are all the time frames that I consider. So right now on a investment grade, the only way you can actually stay in Bitcoin is if you bought it around $100. Maybe around 500. Even at around 1,000, man, you should have gotten out around 10,000, 12,000. It's kind of hard. But so that's where the difference is. So if you bought this, like years ago, right, it's still probably okay to hodl, right? But if you didn't and you bought it like at 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, you should have cut your losses, because the long term is still so the investment wave trend is negative. The long term is also negative. The medium term is negative, and the short term is also negative. So let's talk about it. So we'll talk about the long term. So the long term was neutral for a while. It turned negative, and then it started going back down, down, down. So this is what we expect to happen. 5,900 is our next target to the downside. I actually got out at 6,300. The reason why is that it's right in the middle here. So what happens is that I don't want to be in this chop, up, down, up, down, up, down, because what ends up happening is that you can make a lot of trades, and you end up giving away your losses, because Bitcoin can move so much, right? It can move, 10% in a day, and 10% in a day right now would be about $600, and that's really about the range. What ends up happening is that it's hard to catch a move, because unless you catch it on a smaller candle, or if you catch the top and the bottoms really perfectly, what's going to mostly end up happening is that you're going to get out right around in the middle, right around 6,300 to 6,400, short or long. Because what's going to happen, this is my take on it, is that, so let's say that you short if it hits the resistance line here at 6,700, and then are you going to wait for it to get all the way to 6,000, or are you going to hopefully wait for it to break? Then if you think it's going to break, then where are you going to put your stop loss? Where are you going to try to get out? A trailing stop. That would probably be around 6,300. So most likely, you're going to get out there anyway. So why risk all the headaches of a possible chop session and stay in it for a long time, try to adjust and move your stop losses and getting in and out of trades all the time. So I made that decision not to, because for Bitcoin, this thing was in long range for over a month. Because of that, I decided to get out. So let's look at it on a short-term time frame. Bitcoin, as you can see, I got out here at 6,300. That's where my red line is. So this was my entry here. This was, I said, must hold. Boom, it broke down. Boom, this is my exit. So now it's just channeling, going sideways, right, for since overnight, and we'll see where it goes from here. So anywhere in the zone, those are all quick profits. Because what you have to understand is that as long as it's in the zone, right, and if it doesn't break out to the upside or to the downside, what's going to happen is that you have to be happy with taking quick profits, $200, $300, $400 on Bitcoin. If not, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get chopped out, because it's just going to reverse back and forth. That's what it did in the past. right? That's what it might do into the future. So if it breaks here all of a sudden, great, right? But if it gets choppy, which is the most likely outcome, right? Then you can get hurt by over trading. So this is my outlook for Bitcoin. So let's look at Ether. So Ether, I showed this chart on Twitter a while ago. Showed to you here, how it was in a super range. This was my tweet from last week. I said that if you think that Bitcoin has been in a range, check out Ether. It's been in a range for more than a month. Right, so that's the chart over there. That's the same chart over here. Basically going up, down, up, down, up, down, going between resistance here and support down here. It finally broke, right? And I said that once it breaks, right, it's going to be in trouble. So it finally broke, and now it's down to my target here was 383, and the lower target down there on a daily basis is way low, actually, is 240 once it breaks. So if you look at the long-term view for Ether, right, it really doesn't look good, right, at all. So not only is it about to possibly break the March-April low, right, but it can also go into this little channel here between 383 and 240. So I think it can go way lower than that. So the prospectus for Ether doesn't look that good. So even on a shorter time frame, as you can see, it was channeling for a long time, and now that it broke, it looks like it's going lower. So look at the EOS. So EOS is another one of those things where if you look at it in log scale, it actually looks pretty good. So let's see the magic of log scale. Right, so if you look at this is a daily chart, look at it. Boom, log scale. So all of a sudden in log scale, you're like, wow, this actually looks pretty good. So it went from 50 cents all the way to $5. So this range here is $4.50. Look at this, $4.50. It's so deceptive. From here to here, it's $13. So how come from here to here, this range is smaller than from 550 to here? Because you say, oh yeah, because it's 10x, right? And that's how log scale works. But if you take off log scale, you see, holy moly, this thing has gotten killed, right? So there's no need to enter it now, because you're just catching a falling knife. You're right here at major support. So people might say, yeah, but last time I did that, it can go up to the top. Yes, but what you can't do is you just can't buy it right now. You have to wait for a curl, and this is the curl right here. So maybe if it breaks this level over here, which is the 200 EMA, you might go into it. 50 EMA, you might go into it. So this way, what that means is that around 830 to 870 would be the buy zone, basically within this little area. Until then, you kind of hold off. And that's the same thing with Monero. Monero was in a zone for a long time. It looks like it's going down. $96 is support. 86, and below that is $60. Then you have Icon, which looks bad. There's no support for it over here. It can go way down. Enigma is also in a little bit of a zone and also looks going down. So ZRX is the only one that kind of is going sideways, and it doesn't look like super bad. So here I'll go over ZRX once again. This is one of the fewer ones that I like because it can move a lot. It is choppy, and if you're a day trader, it can be very good because it does move. So right now, because of its neutral stance, it's just ping-ponging up and down, but you can make a little bit of money by playing the bounces. But the problem with ZRX, though, is that the float is pretty small, so you can't go in it for a whole lot of money. Let's look at the Zcoin here on a daily basis. Right now, it's getting to resistance up at the top here at 2183 until it breaks it to the top, right? Bounces off. I wouldn't be a buyer. So let's zoom into it, and I'll show you what I mean. All right, on a daily basis. So here, people might say, like, when should I go long? Right. So I'll tell you when you go long. Bounces. It goes up, tests the support area, and then bounces back up. Then you go long, right around here, not up here, because it can go up here, hit it, right? So here, look what happened. It went up, went down. If you thought it was going to bounce off of it, you were wrong, and it went down. So now here, the idea is that is it going to go higher or is it going to go lower, just like it did over here? So you have to be a little bit careful. So let's look at Link. Link is a big mover today on a daily basis. It broke out of its zone, but the problem is it's been in a range. So if you look at it here, it's been in a range for quite a while. So I told people that if it breaks below here 3,400 and confirms, then it might be a short signal, or a sell signal. But look, it never confirmed. So it broke here, but never confirmed to the downside, and now it just went up. So now it's just still in a tight range here. It can go higher, right, to 4,500. That would be my target to the top, up level, because it has a higher high here. If it breaks that, then it could go up to 4,765, and then be up on top of that 6,137. So look at BitShares. So BitShares is one of the things I talked about to show people that I am a chart realist, not a perma bear. Right? I said that if it breaks this zone up over here, that can go a little bit higher, but it's a scalp. So this is what I showed before. Take a look at it. So for quick profits, right? Here we go. Right, so this was the chart I said. So last week on August 3rd, I did say that BTS is at major support, and if it breaks out of the range, it can go higher. But don't turn it into a position hold, but just a quick long trade for quick profits. And that's basically what it did. So you cannot, when you're going opposite the trend is down, right? But if you're playing the bounce off of support over here, and it's going higher, you have to play it very, very tight. If not, you can get hurt, and that's exactly what happened over here. So you have to be grateful for the small amount of profits that you make, which is between 5 to 10%, and just get out. So last one is RLC, exec, and this one looks pretty bad. I think it can go all the way down to 0. Looks like it's there's no levels, down below. It's an uncharted territory. So we'll see what happens with this. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like our videos, please share it with your friends and other crypto traders. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Telegram. If you have any questions, please ask away in the comment section below. We do a very good job of answering all of our comments and questions right away. Thank you again, and see you in our next video.